Recorded Books is pleased to present the Modern Scholar Series, where great professors teach you. My name is George Guidell, and I'll be your host. Today we begin a course entitled Christianity at the Crossroads, the Reformations of the 16th and 17th Centuries. Your professor is Thomas F. Madden, professor of medieval history and chair of the Department of History at St. Louis University. A recognized expert on the Crusades, he has appeared in forums such as National Public Radio and the New York Times. Professor Madden is the author of The New Concise History of the Crusades. He is the editor of Crusades, the Illustrated History, and The Crusades, Essential Readings. Among his published journal articles are The Enduring Myths of the Fourth Crusade, Father of the Bride, Fathers, Daughters, and Dowries in Late Medieval and Early Renaissance Venice, and The Fires of the Fourth Crusade in Constantinople, 1203 to 1204, a damage assessment. For centuries, the Catholic Church represented the sole religious authority in the Middle Ages. A bastion of learning and instruction, the Church and its priests, popes, and monks directed the spiritual lives of individual lay people and consorted with emperors and kings. After rising from the ranks of slaves and the underclass in the Roman Empire, the Church had quickly become one of the major powers of the world. But with this authority came dissent, corruption, and the abuse of power. In response, philosophers and thinkers rose up and began formulating complaints and challenges to the tradition. The result of these clashes was the eventual splitting of the Catholic Church and the rise of Protestantism. By studying this pivotal moment in history, we will witness one of the most profound religious transformations that ever occurred in Western civilization. For more information on this course, please visit its webpage at www.modernscholar.com, where you'll have access to links to related sites, a seminar room to share your thoughts with other students, and, yes, of course, a final exam. And now we begin Christianity at the Crossroads, the Reformations of the 16th and 17th Centuries, Lecture 1, Christianity After 1500 Years. And now, Professor Madden.
Welcome to the course. In this 14-lecture course, we will trace out the history of the Reformation, or it would be more accurate to say reformations. We're going to be looking at religious events and dynamics that are greatly affecting European society and, by that token, Western civilization in the 16th and 17th centuries. When we talk about Reformation, frequently people think of the Protestant Reformation. In other words, the very dramatic reforms and religious thought that occurs first in the 16th century and then continues to bubble for the next several centuries. But aside from the Protestant Reformation, we also will see a Catholic response, or what some scholars call the Catholic Reformation, or the Counter-Reformation. In this first lecture, what we want to do is lay down the foundations for our subsequent discussions about this topic. And one thing to remember right from the outset, is that in pre-modern civilizations, and this is true for Europe as well, religion is an extremely important part of people's lives. In Europe, religion and the hope for eternal life drove many of the things that today we would associate only with very temporal concerns. So frequently in this course, we will see people doing things which either don't seem to make much sense to us, or they're doing things that may seem to us as though these were for money, power, wealth. Now, these types of things, of course, were considerations, but we need to remember
to keep listening to this audiobook. I've left you a link in the description so you can do it at no cost, thanks to Audible's 30-day free trial.